Welcome to this video that provides an example of how a farmer or any other user can refer to the CODECS economic calculator to understand whether investing in a new technology is profitable or not. We will do this through a real vineyard case study. Here is our example farm that belongs to the Doppler winery situated in Slovenia. The vineyard has difficult terrain and each plot has slightly different microclimate. This causes challenges in communication, and especially in planning spraying activities. Weather varies a lot from place to place, and because the farm is moving to organic management, correct timing of spraying is essential. Too much rain means the farmer needs to spray immediately. This makes real-time data very important. In this example, the farmer chooses a digital vineyard monitoring system to cope with the previously mentioned challenges. The system includes IoT sensors that measure key variables like soil moisture, rainfall, and leaf wetness. The sensors communicate using LoRaWAN, and the data is displayed on Thingsboard. By seeing the data, the farmer can make better spraying decisions and avoid unnecessary treatments. When a farmer introduces this technology, some things in terms of economics improve, and some new costs appear. The benefits, in our case cost savings, result from the fewer necessary treatments, which lead to lower workload and saving inputs such as copper, sulfur, and water. But there are also additional costs that derive from the use of the digital technology in our case. These refer to the cost of acquiring and installing the technology that we call initial investment cost. So the economic calculator will use a well-known methodology to compare costs against benefits. Once the investment has been defined, we can begin assessing the costs and benefits of its implementation. Starting with the benefits, the technology reduces the number of treatments required, leading to a 48-hour reduction in workload. This alone translates to annual labor cost savings of €361. In addition, fewer treatments generate savings on inputs, copper and sulfur, and water. These savings are calculated by multiplying the quantities saved by their respective prices. For the calculator, the key consideration is the difference in each cost item before and after implementing the digital technology. All benefits and cost savings are calculated on an annual basis. Once we have estimated the benefits, in our case the cost savings, we move on to the additional costs. In this example, these no additional annual costs. However, we also need to estimate the initial investment cost, which in our case is the cost of acquiring the new technology. After estimating the costs and benefits of the digital technology, we are ready to input the data into the calculator. First, we define the time period for the investment. In this case, we consider a 7-year lifespan for the technology. Next, we enter the initial investment cost. Before adding additional costs, the calculator asks whether these costs are recurring, roughly the same each year, or if they vary over the defined time period. In our case, the annual additional costs are zero and this is the same every year. The same procedure applies for benefits. First, we indicate whether the estimated benefits, in this case cost savings, are the same each year. This means we only need to enter them once, and the calculator will automatically apply them for each year of the investment period. If benefits were to change annually, we would need to enter them separately for each year. Each benefit item is entered individually, and you can use the Add button to include additional cost items. Finally, the calculator asks for a discount rate. The discount rate is used to adjust future earnings to their present value, and also reflects the uncertainty and risk associated with the investment. For higher-risk investments, a higher discount rate can be used. If you are unsure, a rate of 5% to 6% is a reasonable starting point. Once all data has been entered, the calculator provides the net present value for the investment. In our example, the NPV is positive. This means the investment creates more value than it costs. So the investment is considered economically profitable. The calculator also shows yearly cash flows. This helps us to see if there are any years when income from savings is lower than costs, so we can plan our cash needs better. Finally, we can test different conditions and see what happens in the NPV value if important parameters change. For example, we can change the investment duration, the amount of savings, the purchase price, and the discount rate. This helps us understand how stable our investment is under uncertainty. Thank you for following this demonstration. Now you can use the calculator for your own farm and see whether a technology is profitable before investing. The calculator guides you step by step and produces clear economic results.